Hello, this is Mirijal, and we'll be making a battle system together. First things you will need is to create a new 2D game in Unity, and then grab some assets online. You can find a lot of free assets. I'll be linking the ones that I'm using in the description. For now, grab one asset for the player character and one for the enemy character, and that's going to be fine. Let's start by dragging these two into the scene. In this first tutorial, we are going to just set things up, get things ready, and then we'll go right into developing the logic. First thing first, for a battler, I'm going to make a parent object. Call this the name of the character, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be name of our prefab later on. I'm going to reset the transformation to make sure this is set up correctly. I'll adjust the sprite position of the sprite so that the foot of the sprite is basically on the origin right here. This will make it so that if I put this into the scene with scripts, I know that I'm actually placing on the ground level, no matter what their height is. Because if we do not do that, and say we try to make these two at the same height, say at 0, you'll see that since this behemoth is taller, he will actually not be standing on the same ground level. And that's what this is going to fix. We're going to do the same with the behemoth as well. Create an empty parent object, and then let's move this a little to the side. Let's move this to the origin. Adjust the height, something like this. And rename this object to behemoth. Let's actually make them on the same ground level. I screwed that up. Sorry about that. Something like this should be fine. And then move the priestess to -4. The behemoth to mirror that so that they're facing each other. And let's make sure that they're actually facing each other. And our battlers are facing together. Let's make a prefabs folder and drag these two in there. You can reset the transform on the prefabs. Save the scene and we're good to go. Okay, let's continue with adding a background image to the scene. For that, we'll need to go right click on the hierarchy UI, and you'll find, first of all, a canvas. And I'm going to name this canvas the background canvas because it's going to be separate from my other UI elements. And then what you want to do is, again, right click, go under UI and create an image. This name is background. And I'm going to use this image here. Again, you can find these down in the description with the terms of use included as well on those links. So make sure to read those if you're going to use them. I'm going to click on set native size. This will scale the image up to its actual size. So one problem you can see here is that this canvas, this image is actually currently covering our heroes on our game screen, and we don't want to do that. Instead, we're going to make this on the screen space camera and set the camera to our main camera. What this will do is, first of all, put the canvas, instead of this huge canvas that we had back there, it will scale the canvas automatically to what the camera is seeing right here. And as you can see, since this is on 16:9 aspect, the camera, as the size of the camera is changing, the size of the canvas here is automatically changed. What we want to do here, first of all, is to make sure that our canvas is scaled. When our canvas is scaled up like this, our image will also be scaled up together. And to make sure that happens, we're going to make the UI scale mode to scale the screen size, and I'm actually going to give this a reference resolution of 1600 by 900 to match our aspect ratio of 16:9. You can use anything that's in this ratio. Something like this may actually be better for this canvas since our image is roughly this size. And yeah, I guess 640 by 360 is better because this will mean I won't need to scale the image up that much. Now what I want to do is to scale this image to fit the canvas size. By the way, as you can see now, as the height of the camera is scale up, the image also will scale up with it. Not only the canvas, but also the image. That's what the canvas scaler is doing. And I want this image to cover the sides of the picture here. So I'm going to give it a scale of 1.2. Will do the trick. And I want this can change depending on your UI needs. I want this background to only cover the upper three quarters of the screen. So like basically I want my battlers to be sitting on this grass right here. And the bottom will be empty, but we'll fill that with other UI elements, so it'll be fine. Obviously, you can change it to the top or anywhere else. You can change the placements of things depending on your game. Or you may use a battle background that has larger ground plane so that it can cover the whole screen even when the battlers are in the middle. But I'm going to do that in an awkward way, which you don't need to do this. I'm going to move the canvas to the world space and then move it up a little so that I'll rotate it a little bit so that will skew the image quite a bit. So again, this depends on what kind of assets you're using, what kind of look you're going for. So what I'm doing right now will not fit most other projects again. So be careful with that. I'm actually going to put these on -2. I think the UI can fit quite well, even further down, maybe. That way I can get the top of the trees a little bit in here as well, which is what I want, which is why I'm rotating. I don't want to rotate too much because that's actually clearing the ground space here that I have. that I want to have. Sorry. And again, let's get, I think this looks fine. If you maximize it, let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think this looks fine, but obviously, depending on what kind of image you're using, this may actually look horrible or something like that. So make sure the image that you're using is fit for what you're using it for. And that's it for the background elements. And now that that's done, we can actually move on to our logic and scripting.